From the flicker of a campfire to the pulse of a crowded street, the human story began to weave its first global web. In the Fertile Crescent, at the dawn of agriculture, a revolution took root not in conflict, but in the soil. A woman presses barley into the earth, and with that simple act, everything changes. Domesticated plants and animals created a surplus. Surplus fed larger populations, and villages swelled into towns, then into the world's first cities. With stores of grain came the need for new rules, new leaders, and a memory that could outlive any storyteller. On wet clay tablets, the first records were kept. Along the Nile and the Tigris, powerful states arose to command the rivers and the labor of thousands. Writing tracked rations, laws organized society, and taxes funded the ambitions of kings. Temples and palaces rose toward the heavens, promising order in a chaotic world. From the planned cities of the Indus Valley to the banks of the Yellow River, walls and granaries synchronized human life on a massive scale. But what held these new societies of strangers together? Shared belief. Rituals and early faiths offered stories of duty, purpose, and existence, connecting vast communities through a common identity. Ideas traveled with people. In the high Andes, terraced farms climbed toward the sky. In Mesoamerica, the echoes of ball games filled sacred courts. And across the vast Pacific, Oceania's navigators mapped the stars. These worlds developed in parallel, but their isolation would have profound consequences when they finally met. In quiet groves and monastic halls, new questions were being asked. Buddhism contemplated the nature of suffering. Judaism debated the meaning of covenant and law. Later, under desert stars, Christianity and Islam would preach a universal message, welcoming all into a single moral community. These faiths transcended borders, creating networks of trust that pilgrims and merchants would carry across the globe. Hoofbeats echoed on the steppe, and lateen sails caught the monsoon winds. The Silk Roads and the Indian Ocean became the arteries of the ancient world, connecting the markets of Asia with the caravans of the Sahara. Along these routes flowed not just goods, but knowledge, technology, and disease. The pandemics and price shocks of our own time travel along these same ancient pathways, a reminder that our globalized world has deep roots. Then, a new horizon. At Atlantic dawn, a ship's sail cracks in the wind as a coastline emerges from the mist. In the late 1500s, a young navigator sights a shore previously unknown to his world. With that sighting comes a collision of worlds, unleashing sugar, microbes, and musket fire across continents. The Columbian Exchange would forever braid the diets, cultures, and diseases of humanity. Gunpowder and credit transformed small European ports into the capitals of global empires. Soon, coal-fired machines would crowd the shore. In the 19th century, factories hummed, and the clock became the ruler of a new industrial age. Railways and the printing press accelerated the movement of people and ideas, shrinking the globe once more. But this new power came at a price. Generations later, that navigator's descendants punched factory clocks, while unions fought for their rights and nationalism drafted them into war. A single shot in a European capital pulled empires into a catastrophic conflict, and the 20th century reeled through war, genocide, and the painful struggles of decolonization. Out of the ashes, a divided peace emerged, defined by the Cold War's contest of power and ideology. But even as walls were built, new connections were being forged. Trade and migration reshaped what it meant to belong, while digital code began to weave a new, invisible network across the planet. Today, this long history lives in our daily feed. It shapes the debate over genome editing, the rise of artificial intelligence,